Hello and welcome. I'm your host Sam with Gen Z Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing and demonstrating the ATEnge, I think that's how it's pronounced, Rechargeable Air Duster. Now, I paid $64 for this, and you're probably wondering, why would you pay so much for an air duster when, depending on where you go, you could pay as little as $5 for one of these? We just have some prices printed out here. While yes, you could buy these and pay as little as $5, or buy a dozen and pay $60, which is about the same as a rechargeable one that has endless uses. Because once this is empty, that's it. It goes in the garbage. But this does have its uses, I will admit. If you're getting into tight spaces, such as like a pair of headphones, sometimes the volume knob will get stuck. You can use the little itty bitty straw and just give it a little spritz there, and it's working good as new. I know you can't really tell, but it does have its uses. I will give it that. However, after prolonged use, you start to smell it. It's just a really noxious, nasty odor. Not to mention that over the years that I have been using this, I've probably spent the equivalent to one of these, if not more. Also, when using this for prolonged periods of time, the can does get extremely cold, and in some cases the propellant starts to come out. So, you know, you have that in the air. If you get that on your skin, it's just not going to be a good time for you. And the propellant in this, on the back of the can, it does show you, is Difluoroethane. Now, I did do a little bit of research on it, and it's certainly not the healthiest thing. So it's not something you really want to be breathing in. If you want to read more about it, I will leave a link in the description, and, you know, at your leisure, you can look at it or choose not to. It's up to you. But on to the main star of the show. So, let me show you the outside of the box first. That's the front. And the other side is exactly the same, no different. And then on both sides, you have the specifications. Neither side is any different than the other. So once you open this up, the first thing you see is the device itself. So you can see here, I've just zoomed in the video, you can see all the specifications for the duster itself. You can see the input voltage, input current, output power, and the battery, and it's focusing on the box in the background. There we go. You can see here, this is the knob that controls the strength, and it's also the power button. So you press it once and it's on, press it again and it's off. Now this also is a stepless knob, so when you turn it, come on, there we go. When you turn it, it is completely silent. It's a very smooth transition, so to speak, of power, if you will. Right word's not coming to me. But on the bottom here, there is a little nub that allows you to store one of the two attachments that they do provide. The first one here is a little funnel shape, so it's narrow on one end and wider on the other end. Put it in, and it's a little bit wobbly, but it's a fairly snug fit. It's definitely not going to fall out on you. And then the other one is just completely straight, and it has a brush on the end, so you can use this to clean off keyboards, computers, motherboards, all that stuff, cameras, anything you need. They provide you a little charger. I say little because it's not a very long wire, but it is, come on, there we go. It is C to A, and the charging port is on the back here, as you can see. And also in the box is a user manual. Now, in this manual, is the specifications, what's in the box. I'm not sure why they would tell you in the manual what's in the box when you opened it up, you already pulled everything out, but I digress. You also have a product description, how to charge it, notes, how to use it, and your warranty information on the very end there. I'll leave the other attachment out, and this will get moved to the back. Now, in order to test the CFM, and CFM, if you don't know, is cubic feet per minute, or the amount of air that can be moved per cubic foot in a minute, otherwise referred to as airflow. In order to test this, I will be using the BT meter digital anemometer. That's an easy word to say. I will get to this in another video, so be on the lookout for that. When I do post it, it'll be up in the, it'll be the right hand corner for you, left hand corner for me. I'm not going to go through all the minutia of this, I'm just going to show you. There's the device. I already have the plastic cut open for convenience sake. And I'm going to mount this on a monopod, so I'm not just holding this and this is wobbling all over the place. But we'll get that turned on, and there's a backlight so we can see what's happening. Okay, so I have my little monopod here, and I'm just going to screw this on. One moment, please. So, now that we have this all set up, I'm going to do it first without the attachments, just to see how strong it is without anything that could possibly hinder it. I'm going to start off on the lowest setting, and I'm going to slowly speed it up, and we'll take it from there. This is going to be loud, just warning. Okay, so you can see there that the maximum is about 5.2 meters per second. Now I'm going to turn it back on, and I'm going to slowly speed it up, and we'll see what it is at the highest setting speed. I did warn you it was going to be loud. So again, you can see here that the maximum is showing that it's at about 12.3 meters per second, and that's without either of the attachments. So I'm going to start with the funnel shaped attachment, and we're going to see what kind of a difference that makes. Again, I'm just going to leave it at the highest setting, and we'll see what it shows. I am going to turn that back off just in case it does make a difference. So that reached the maximum speed pretty quickly. It's showing that it actually is not as strong with the funnel shaped attachment at 11.1 meters per second. Now I'm going to do the other attachment with the brush, and we'll see what kind of a difference that has. Everything's falling apart. And you'll see there with the other attachment, it's roughly the same. Actually 0.1 meters per second stronger. So you can see that this actually works fairly well. I'm going to move this out of the way because we are done with this. You can see that this little rechargeable air duster actually works very well. It's a great buy, honestly. I'm going to clean off this very dusty old motherboard I have, and I'm going to do it with the brush attachment. And I'll do the same thing. I'm going to start on the lowest setting, and then I'll go to the highest setting and see how much more it gets off. And we have it. So without even touching it, you can see it blew the majority of that dust right off. And I didn't even touch the brush to the motherboard. So now I'm going to actually get in there and actually dust it. And you can see at the lowest setting, if you will, it actually did fairly well. It got off like a good 99.9% of the dust. So now I'm going to do that again, and I'm going to go on the highest setting to see how much more it can get off, because there is still just like a little bit of dust on here. So as you can see, that did a much better job. The brush attachment is great, honestly, for getting into all these little crevices here where, I'm not going to get into the minutia of a motherboard, but where your RAM would go and all that. It did a great job at getting into all the little spots to really get out all the dust and dirt and everything. So you can see that it works very well with just the brush attachment alone. And now for my thoughts. Honestly, like I said previously, this duster is a great buy. It's definitely worth the money, and you're definitely better off spending the $60 on this as opposed to spending $60 on cans of air that you're just going to end up throwing away when they're empty. At least with this, you're going to have it for quite some time, and all you have to do is recharge it and it's ready to go. Again, I'm not going to get into all the minutia of how dangerous the propellant inside the disposable cans really is. There will be a link below for you to read through that, like I mentioned previously. Also, the link for this, the affiliate link to Amazon, will be in the description below if you so choose to purchase it. And now for the disclaimer. I'm not being paid to review this product. I bought this with my own money, and I'm making this review video of my own free will. There is no one standing over my shoulder telling me when to say, what to say, how to say it. These are my own thoughts, my own words, and if ever a video in the future is sponsored, I will make it clearly known, clearly stated. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful or useful. If you did, please be sure to give it a big ol' thumbs up. It always helps. Please be sure to share and subscribe so you can get notified of when I do post a video. And I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.